In response to the devastating wildfires raging across Los Angeles last January, the U.S. Air Force's premier firefighting C-130 aircraft, equipped with modular aerial firefighting systems, or MAFs, are being deployed to Southern California. A wildfire started in the Pacific Palisades neighborhood of Los Angeles on last January 7th and began to spread rapidly as strong offshore winds fanned the flames, setting over 30,000 acres ablaze and ruining neighborhoods in scenes reminiscent of war zones. More than 600 personnel, 10 rotary wing aircraft, and 2 C-130 Hercules aircraft from the California National Guard were deployed to battle the blaze. The Biden administration ordered the Pentagon to send 8 MAFs-equipped C-130s from Nevada, Wyoming, and Colorado to support firefighting efforts in Los Angeles. Hazardous weather conditions prevented the DoD from getting the planes in the air earlier and from sending additional assets to respond to the massive fires. In the meantime, the Defense Department is also sending 10 Navy helicopters with water delivery buckets for immediate aerial suppression, in addition to 2 firefighting teams and 4 military police groups on the ground. The Lockheed C-130 Hercules is a versatile workhorse plane with a spacious cargo hold that can be equipped for a wide range of operations. When deployed as a firefighting aircraft, the C-130 can be equipped with a modular airborne firefighting system unit to support other air tankers and aerial suppression. The MAFs unit can be filled with water or a fire retardant called slurry, which is mostly made of water with the addition of ammonium sulfate, a gelling agent, and red coloring to make it visible to pilots when dropped. The U.S. military has 8 MAFs units ready for use nationwide, operated by National Guardsmen stationed in California, Nevada, Wyoming, and Colorado. The unit can fit inside the cargo hold with no structural modification to allow for quick loading on short notice, taking about 4 hours or less for a crew of 5 to set up, fill, and load the 11,000-pound unit. The C-130 drops its contents through a discharge tube installed on the rear left side of the C-130 and through the open cargo bay door, releasing 3,000 gallons in less than 5 seconds and covering an area over 1,300 feet long and 100 feet wide. Because the fire retardant slurry is released in a mist, it doesn't cause harm to buildings and structures while acting as a fertilizer, but it can be harmful to the environment and local wildlife if used in excess. Modular Airborne Firefighting Systems, or MAFs, are portable fire retardant delivery systems that can be inserted into military C-130 aircraft without major structural modifications to convert them into air tankers when needed. The MAFs program, created by Congress in the early 1970s, is a joint effort between the U.S. Forest Service and the Department of Defense, or DoD. The U.S. Forest Service owns the MAFs equipment and supplies the fire retardant, while the DoD provides the C-130H and J model aircraft, flight crews, and maintenance and support personnel to fly the missions. MAFs are important because they provide a surge capability that can be used to boost wildlife suppression efforts when contracted air tankers are fully committed or not readily available. They can discharge their entire load of up to 3,000 gallons of fire retardant in less than 5 seconds, covering an area 1/4 of a mile long by 100 feet wide, or make variable drops. Once the load is discharged, it can be refilled in less than 12 minutes. MAFs equipment is stationed at 8 locations across the United States. They're considered a 24-hour resource, meaning that when activated, it's expected that it will take 24 hours for the aircraft to arrive on the scene, as the C-130s have to be pulled from their regular military duties and fitted with the MAF's equipment. When needed, regional foresters can request a MAF's activation after they've ascertained that all available commercial air tankers are assigned to ongoing incidents or committed to an initial attack. The National Interagency Coordination Center at the National Interagency Fire Center, or NIFC in Boise, Idaho, can activate the MAFs when all other contract air tankers are committed to incidents or initial attacks or are otherwise unable to meet requests for air operations. The request for MAFs activation is approved by the National MAFs Liaison Officer, who's the Forest Service Director at NIFC. This request is then forwarded to the Joint Director of Military Support at the Pentagon. Governors of states where National Guard MAFs units are stationed may activate MAFs for missions within their state boundaries when covered by a Memorandum of Understanding with the military authority and the Forest Service. During the 1994 fire season, one of the worst during that decade, the 4 airlift wings equipped with MAFs flew nearly 2,000 missions and dropped 51 million pounds or 23 million kilograms of retardant. In 2004, after all the large civilian tankers in the U.S. had been grounded due to safety concerns, MAFs-equipped C-130s were pre-positioned in western states in anticipation of wildfires. Besides use on wildfires, MAFs have been deployed to Mexico, Europe, Africa, and Indonesia. International deployment is initiated by a foreign government's request through the U.S. State Department. MAFs were deployed in the Palisades Fire by the California Air National Guard in January 2025. The military is reimbursed for the cost of operating MAFs flights by the agency having jurisdiction over the fire. MAFs is also in use in the Colombian Air Force, Brazilian Air Force, Royal Moroccan Air Force, and the Royal Thai Air Force C-130s. It was also formerly used in the Portuguese Air Force C-130s.